former pound-for-pound king Floyd Money Mayweather came out co-signing us new media, naming Terence "The Bug" Crawford as pound-for-pound #1 today, due to his resume, due to his dominance in the sport of boxing today, and of course, he want all the smoke. So it's only right to name Terence "The Bug" Crawford as pound-for-pound #1, as he should be named that in all websites. If a website is not biased and they don't have an agenda, then Bug Crawford should be named as their #1 pound-for-pound. However, we all know in the sport of boxing, there's a lot of agendas. And one thing for sure, that's what new media provides, is a fair judgment to all these fighters. No bias. We give fighters the credit they deserved and earned. We don't give out any bonus credit, unlike old media. With that being said, Terence "The Bug" Crawford is pound-for-pound #1 without any question for multiple reasons. One of the reasons is his dominance in the sport of boxing. I believe he stopped his last 6 opponents, and he's supposed to be a boxer. So he's not only a switch hitter that could box, he could also knock you out, and he goes for the KO every single time. And that's what the hardcore boxing fans claim they want, and mainly the casual boxing fans. So Terence "The Bug" Crawford always delivers everything the casuals and the hard boxing fans be asking for. Another thing besides his dominance is the fact that he a 3-time world champion in 3 different weight classes, and one of the weight classes he was undisputed. However, with all them accomplishments, what separates Terence "The Bug" Crawford from all these other fighters in the world is the fact that he's not satisfied yet. Even though he was already known as the best in his division at 135 and 140, he's also looking to be the best at 147, wanting to be undisputed in the deepest, most packed division in the sport of boxing today, and that's the welterweight division. So he wants all the smoke and looking to be undisputed in the hardest division in boxing that's packed with the most talent. So that alone shows what type of cloth Terence "The Bug" Crawford is cut from. It sure ain't see-through, because he wants all the smoke. Unlike all these fighters that's competing for his spot, he never turned down any smoke, aka Canelo and Lomachenko. Canelo, he always picks the weakest link around every division. He never been the #1 of a certain division. Surely not 154. He never fought Andrade or Charlo. Same for 160, same for 168, same for 175. And Lomachenko, on the other hand, he lost to Salido at 126. He didn't beat too many great fighters at 130, besides Walters. And at 135, he's not undisputed yet, and he already requested a French fries belt to avoid a Devin Haney. Furthermore, what puts a black eye on Lomachenko's resume is the fact that he turned down a fight with Manny Pacquiao at 135, claiming he's too old, and after that, Manny Pacquiao beat Broner and Keith Thurman that same year at 147. So you claim you want to be as great as Manny Pacquiao, but don't want to face a grandpa version of Manny Pacquiao at 135? So that's a bad look right there alone, because everyone is gunning for Manny Pacquiao. You could ask Terence "The Bug" Crawford. He wants that fight more than he wants to breathe. And Lomachenko turned it down. So with that being said, the only fighter that kept it consistent and kept it 100 is Terence "The Bug" Crawford. So just like I stated, the reason why Terence "The Bug" Crawford is co-signed by Money Mayweather, the former pound-for-pound king, and new media, and Akhi as pound-for-pound #1, is because of his resume, how deep it is the fact he's so dominant. He never had a close fight, and if he did, he definitely got the KO. And regardless of what weight division you put him in, he's a force to be reckoned with. And last but not least, he's the smoke man. He wants all the smoke. I know a lot of people is going to bring up Porter, but last time I checked, Terence "The Bug" Crawford wants the winner of that fight, and that's Errol Spence the Truth Jr. We know Errol Spence is pound for pound number 3 today. Errol Spence could be pound for pound number 1 in the future as he moves up in weight classes, and depending on how the fight between the Truth and the Bud turn out to be in the future, of course, that's the fight of the decade, and the winner of that is the undisputed pound for pound number 1 in the world, period. That's the fight of the decade. That's the fight we all clamoring for. So with that being said, Terence "the Bud" Crawford is looking to seek out the truth in Errol Spence, the winner of the Porter fight. So that's the equivalent of people complaining about Canelo Alvarez calling out and wanting to fight the winner of Charlo versus Andrade. Let's say if Charlo fights Andrade and Canelo wants the winner, and people complain about Canelo not fighting the loser at the time, is pretty pathetic. And last time I checked, just to put icing on the cake, Porter had his chance to respectfully call out Terence "Bud" Crawford and put the pressure on Terence. However, he said, "That's my friend. We have to talk." And they had almost 6 months to talk, and they haven't talked yet. So you know what that means? It sounds like they both on the same page. So if you're going to blame one, you're going to blame the other. Because to us, it might sound pathetic, but to them, maybe one of them can't live with the fact that they just beat up the other or got beat up by the other. So to each your own. However, one thing for sure, Terence "the Bud" Crawford never ducked any smoke and is always looking for the smoke. So hopefully he goes to Texas City where the smoke at and fight the truth and seek out the truth in Errol. That's the fight of the decade. Hopefully it's coming in 2020 or 2021. Till then, Terence "the Bud" Crawford is still pound for pound number 1, and new media is being co-signed by Floyd Money Mayweather. So if a website doesn't have Terence "the Bud" Crawford as pound for pound number 1, then clearly they have an agenda, because there's no fighter that has been more dominant and wanting all the smoke and have a deeper resume than Terence "the Bud" Crawford. I remember the time when they said Terence was ducking Flex Diaz, a gold medalist. Terence Crawford fought him right after, dominated him, and knocked him out. I remember the time when Postal knocked out Matisse, and people told Terence, "You ducking Postal." Guess what Terence did? He didn't hide away from Postal like Canelo been doing for years from Andrade and Charlo. Absolutely not. Terence "the Bud" Crawford wasn't hiding from the boogeyman at the time, Postal, because Terence "the Bud" Crawford was the A boogeyman. He had everyone singing, "Oh, nah, 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 nah," because he fought Postal right after, dominated him, dropping him on more than one occasion, winning pretty easy. So we all know how the story goes. You claim Terence is avoiding a fighter, he fights him right after. Reminded me of Money May and Pretty Boy back in his day. So with that being said, Terence "the Bud" Crawford is pound for pound number 1, according to new media, according to Akhi, according to Floyd Money Mayweather, and last but not least, Andre Ward. All the names that I just named are too credible for Terence "the Bud" Crawford not to be named in all medias as pound for pound number 1. So with that being said, subscribe below if you're trying to get smarter by the minute. If you're trying to get dumb about a second, don't. And listen to these decafs, aka dumb casual ass fans / old media. Shout out to DBN for being the entrepreneur of new media that I'm a part of. If you're a casual fan and you want to be a hardcore, all you have to do is attend the Akhi University every Sunday live on Split Decision. It's a boxing debate / talk show where Akhi is pound for pound number 1 when it comes to debate. Akhi's 25-0, and you already know I've been knocking out decafs, catching bodies, but at the end of the day, it don't go on my record because you got to be credible to be on my record. And last show, Professor Nim, I left him speechless. He brought opinions to the table. I brought facts to the table. So you already know what wins. So with that being said, click on the notification bell to get notified every time we post to go live on Split Decision if you're a casual fan and you want to graduate and be a hardcore. And shout out to all my Akhis. I appreciate all the love and support I've been getting over the past week or so. With that being said, to be continued on the next episode of Akhi, Akhi TV. Till then, follow my man Lunatoon Boxing for the funniest boxing memes. If a picture says 1,000 words, his picture says 1,000,000 words. So with that being said, I will leave his link in the description box below. Keep it a G and follow him on IG, and follow me too at Akhi TV on IG. And to be continued on the next episode of Akhi, TV. Peace, and we outie.